When I was 8, my guy best friend and I had a sleepover. It wasn't awkward until we had to go to sleep. He let me sleep on his bed, and he slept on the couch in the same room. The moment I got in his bed, the sheets smelled bad, but my ignorant ass thought it was because he was a boy. After I laid in his bed for 20 minutes I realized it was his piss. This moment I had to go pee, and I decided to pee in his bed because it's no big deal. He heard me peeing and asked what I was doing. I soon realized that his sheets were wet because they were washed, but no dried, and they smelled bad because the detergent. Fun time. Smiley. One time my brother got really sick with coronavirus. He was one of the severe cases and he had to stay in the hospital for a long time. My mom was taking pictures of him on the hospital bed and putting them on Facebook. I told her to make the caption WAP. She said what is that and I said it means wish and pray. She said that's perfect and she recorded a video of him violently coughing and posted it with this exact caption. WAP for my son's recovery. WAP that he can come home soon. And if you believe in God, WAP for yourself too. My aunt commented what WAP means and my mom replied saying wish and pray. Ever since my mom clarified its meaning all my relatives were spamming the Facebook comment section with WAP. She changed her bio to WAP as well. One time when I was in 4th grade I told my friend that I liked her brother and she got so mad that when we were at the lunchroom at school the next day she grabbed the microphone and announced loudly to the whole school that I liked him. He obviously heard it so he got up and walked to the other side of the room and started kissing me. I didn't know what to do so I kissed him back. 2 days later I was sitting in my room and I heard something outside of my house. I looked out the window and saw nothing. Then I heard the front door open and assumed it was my mom. A few minutes later, a bunch of cops were in my house holding the girl in handcuffs. She tried to break in to stab me with a knife but my neighbors saw and called the cops. I've been dating her brother for 3 years now and she's in a mental hospital. Okay, so one time when I was in 6th grade the boys were spraying Axe deodorant all over the bathroom and it got so bad that the teachers took the door off of the boys' bathroom and as a way of protest they would pull their pants down to their ankles and walk around the bathroom and that was the first time I saw a boy's thingy. Thank you for your submission. BTW I can't respond to messages because my number is registered to another account but I read all of them pulse. Okay, so when I was in senior year of high school my history teacher was having a baby so we got a sub. And when I tell you he was hot, he was like Draco Malfoy meets young Leonardo DiCaprio. He was finger-licking good sweaty red face with tongue out. In history class he would stare at me and I would blush. One day he came over to me when we were writing our papers and he asked if I needed help after school. I said yes because I wanted to do the Humpty Dumpty with him. He came over and we started studying. He put his hand on my thigh and at first I was like pack it up Tony Lopez Shane y'all looking ours. But then I remembered the goal winking face. I gave him the gluck gluck 3000. And then we had sex. I found out I was pregnant. So here is a little interesting story I have. When I was in like 3rd grade there was this nasty ass kid that picked his crusty boogers all the time. He wasn't even ashamed of it. He would do it when we were in the middle of class. I'm not trying to say he should be ashamed but WTF that's gross as hell. One day he was picking his boogers at the playground and one of my classmates said that he shouldn't do that and it was gross. And the booger kid said if you wanna say my booger is gross, your face could be its twin. I couldn't help but to laugh. LMAO I wasn't expecting that. One time when I was 4 my mom got our family pet goldfish. I had 2 older siblings who at the time were 8 and 10. I loved this fish and named it Darcy. So one day my grandma was watching us and my oldest brother told me that if I ate the fish it was turned to goldfish, like the snack, but it would be okay after it went through my system. I didn't believe him at first until he brought out a bag of goldfish. At the time I was again only 4, so I believed him. Long story short, I ate my beloved precious goldfish, Darcy, and it did not come out alive. When I was in the 5th grade, I had a crush on a boy. I told my best friend about liking this boy. She told me she liked him too, so I had to stop liking him. I was not going to listen to do that bad bleep. There was a group chat that everybody who was anybody. I obviously was in it, and so was my crush. She would talk crap about me, and sent ugly pictures. I came up with a genius evil plan. I went to school early with all the supplies. I took the wrench out of my bag, and tried to get her locker open. Then, I filled her locker with the worst pictures of her. Then the boy we were both simping for saw me. I told him to hold the wrench, and I ditched. The teachers found him with the wrench. He got suspended and cried. My best friend hated him for what she thought he did. He hates me. but if I can't have him no one can. A week after I had a new crush, and my best friend liked him too. Time for more planning. Smiley. So one day me and my dad went fishing in a lake that's near our house. We did this quite often, so we had a whole routine and everything. He bought a brand new boat, so we were taking it for a first time ride. I really had to go shit. Like really badly. While my dad was cleaning the fish he caught, I took that as my chance to shit into the lake. A while later I forgot about it and I thought that shit would be out of my life forever. Me and my dad decided to call it a day. My shit must have been floating around the propeller, because when my dad started the motor the shit sprayed everywhere. And I mean everywhere. I had to act like I didn't know what happened, and I acted just as shocked as he did. He spent the next hour cleaning his new boat. In 8th grade my friends all talked about how they get their period and I never got mine, so I felt left out and they laughed at me when I told them I never got mine yet. I wanted to feel grown up and prove to my friends that I get my period, so the next morning before I went to school I stuck the end of a tomato sauce bottle in my kahoochie woochie poochie and squirted like half the bottle in there. I went to school and told my friends I got my period. I started to feel sick in class and all of a sudden endless tomato sauce started pouring down from my hoo-ha woo-ha poo-ha and was literally everywhere on my chair, skirt and floor. The school nurse asked me if I was pregnant because she thought I had a miscarriage. I still never told anyone it was tomato sauce till this day. When I was 7 I came home one day and my mom told me I had pajama day tomorrow, but I was the oldest of my siblings and I found it kind of weird they have it in my school, but anyways I confirmed this with my friend. My mom told me to wear a unicorn jumper she bought for me, and when I got dressed the day of I decided not to wear anything under it. It was a bad habit I had as a kid. Anyways I showed up to school in a unicorn jumper that was too big on me and nobody except for the pre-schoolers wore PJs. My bully was the first one I saw and she laughed under her breath and walked away. All of my classmates were confused and laughed quietly, but my bully just said, "Well, at least we know what you sleep in." In my head I was like, no bitch, I don't wear this. My teacher said I couldn't change my outfit, so I decided to do something. During recess I ran. Story time. One day I was in 6th grade. There was this girl called Lori, and she had a really big gang, and her gang did not like me and I have no idea why. Anyways, a little info about me is that I have an allergy to yellow food coloring. Anyways, one morning I arrived to school. I settled down, prepping myself for the day, and my teacher tells me to go bring this to my other teacher, which is the one who has Lori and her gang in her class. So I go bring it, and as soon as I turn to get out I hear her whisper, "We should poison Julian by putting yellow food coloring in her lunch." And right when I heard that I started freaking the fuck out, like OMG WTF, is she really gonna do that? And my shy ass didn't tell the fucking teacher, so I just go on with the day without eating anything. And then I get home, my mom's like, "Why didn't you eat anything?" And I'm like, "Oh, I wasn't hungry." Then the next day I see her with yellow food coloring and I restart panicking because I thought she was gonna poison me. A couple hours after I have to go to the bathroom, so I ask the teacher to go to the bathroom. I find that fucking bitch Marie-Laure putting yellow food coloring in my pineapple, and I am just like, WTF are you doing? And this bitch said, "Nothing," and I was apt to lose it, so I told the teacher and now she's expelled. You're welcome.